Hello, Douglas Doll here. I just wanted to come to you with a Monday morning rant. Monday morning rant is a show that I do where I rant about things that pretty much downright irritate me and annoy me. And sometimes I try to get to the bottom of why it's going on. A lot of times I figure out why. Sometimes it's just blatantly obvious. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about is once again my experience with the medical industry. Recently I had a medical appointment, doctor's appointment, just a checkup, and basically focusing on the fact that I have arthritis in my knees and ankles. And yeah, I was just coming in mainly to talk about that. But as you know, with the physical, you get the full 9 yards. And I also wanted to talk to the doctor, which I did, about um, the problems I was having with my liver. The last time I went to a gynecologist, she told me that it seems like I need to get it checked. So I decided to mention that to them. So I ended up having to do, they took like several vials of blood from me, like vials of blood this long in one of those test tubey things, three of them. And at the end of that, I just couldn't barely think straight because I didn't eat anything that day, all that day, and all I had was water to drink. So anyway, that in itself was a lot. Um, So yeah, it made me want to talk about this because this morning, because I'm waiting for the results to come back from all the blood tests and the urinalysis to see if there's anything in fact wrong with my bladder. I mean, not my bladder, with my liver. So this morning I got a call from the doctor's office, and they were talking really fast, and like they really wanted to rush this, conversation, really just get it done with, right? So I'm like, they're telling me that it shows from the blood test that my vitamin D, I'm vitamin D deficient, that my vitamin D is really low. So we're gonna, and she was saying it really fast. So we're gonna do this and now. We got a prescription for you, ready for this at this place. Da 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 da. Okay. I'm like, okay, well, and then hung up before I could even say any more. That's the condition that we live in here with the medical industry. If you're not rich and wealthy, this is what you get. Just let my hair down. My hair is just trying to fall down anyway. This is what you get. You get people that don't really care because you're just another number. That's what I feel like. I looked up foods that are rich in vitamin D because they're saying they have a vitamin D deficiency. I've been eating a lot of the foods that is suggested for vitamin D deficiency. Like, for instance, eggs. I've been eating an egg a day. Also, tofu. Also, mushrooms. They mentioned mushrooms. They mentioned fish, which I still eat. I don't eat as much of it as I want because being able to afford it, but whenever I can get some, we got some recently. Got some tuna, got some, I think that's cod we've got too. So it's like my body is levitating. My body is gravitating towards the things that it needs. But it's like the way that they handle things within the medical industry with doctors dealing with their patients as if they're just another number. And sometimes when people are trying to get a file up for their medical injuries and conditions, they have to go through all this in order to possibly qualify for disability. But here in California, they make it really difficult for you to get disability. Depends on what you look like, it feels like. Depends on who you are if you qualify for disability. Um, I notice how differently I'm treated than other people when it comes to the medical industry. Based on how I look, I know that's what it is. And when I start talking, then they're surprised that I talk the way that I do. Because they're expecting me to talk a certain way, fit a certain stereotype. And I'm done with it. I'm so tired of it. It's frustrating when you have to deal with all this shit. It really is. And it's getting on my nerves. The impatience with their patients. It's not right. So that's my rant for today. I don't have much more to say about that. These unpleasant visits to the doctor. That's why I don't go there often. Um, and it's funny because my body is gravitating naturally towards those things that they're mentioning that I'm depleted of, like the vitamin D and the foods that are rich in vitamin D. So they prescribed me, I think, a vitamin D supplement that they have available at this drugstore that I can pick up. So um, I'll pick it up and see what it's all about. But mainly I want to get my nutrients from the foods that I eat. So supposedly I'm severely vitamin D deficient. So I'm just going to go and do what I need to do for my body, because like I said, I feel like I'm naturally being led towards the things that my body needs to heal itself, whatever that may be. And it seems like I'm on the right track, but these doctors and the whole industry, that just gets on my nerves because they're so impatient. They just rush shit so much. And that's how a lot of errors, a lot of accidents have happened um, within that industry. Is they're so impatient, they're so wanting to get to the next person, to rush through the shit. But you're not supposed to rush through, taking care of another person's well-being, their health. It sucks the way the industry is. And it's built just to only see certain people thrive. It just is. It is how it is. And the only way that we can get through is to learn how to take care of ourselves. Because we can't totally trust or rely upon a doctor. It's true. That's all I have to say about that. So let me have a sip of my tea that I didn't bring in here. Hold on, let me go grab my tea. I'll be right back. Alright, I got my tea. I just have a cup of green tea. So, yeah, I'm doing all the right things. I think maybe with my body getting stressed out and the move and all of that, it can have a tremendous effect on my well-being. And moving from a much smaller living environment has been very stressful for me. So I know that stress can have an effect, a negative effect on your health. I know that for sure. So, but that's all I got today for you guys for Monday Morning Rant. Feel free to share your opinions in the comment section below about your experiences with the doctors if they've been unpleasant. I'm not looking to have a bunch of people comment, oh, I have a great time with my doctor. My doctor's awesome. I really don't want to hear about that, really. If it is, if that's the situation, that's good. I feel, happy for you. You're blessed to have a physician that actually cares about you. That's few and far between these days, for real. And if you look a certain way, you're treated differently. That's just all there is to it. People want to tell you, don't make a big deal out of it. Maybe you're making a big deal out of it. But if you feel like you're being discriminated against because of the way you look, because the color of your skin and the way your hair looks, or whatever, then that's what's happening. It is what it appears to be. So don't doubt yourself if you feel that way. It's just a frustrating time period for a lot of people, because a lot of people have been working really hard, busting their hump, and then they can't work anymore in the same jobs as they did before because they're injured. And then instead of the doctor, being, sympathetic to whatever it is that you need, instead they're just like chastising you, like you've done so many things wrong when it comes to taking care of your body. It's just like they're so matter of fact like and very robotic and empty. So that's my experience with doctors. The only good doctor I've had was when I was a kid at 5 years old. After that, it all went downhill. So that's my experiences. And yours may be different, may be more pleasant, but mine haven't been. And I know exactly why they haven't been. Because they don't give a shit about me. They try to pretend like they give a shit about me, smiling and shit. They're talking a mile a minute, so I can't hear everything that I need to hear in order to do what they suggest to take care of my body better. I even I recorded the last doctor's video, did an audio recording, so I could remember, or no, that if I didn't remember all the details of that visit, then I have it recorded, I could play it back and know for sure what was going on within that visit. And when I played back the audio recording, it was going really fast. She was just like she wanted to speed shit up. She didn't want to hear my full explanation of the things that were going on with my body. And that pissed me off. But I'm not supposed to argue or get mad or anything. They even have some waiver you have to sign where you won't shout at the doctor, you won't yell at the doctor, you won't hit the doctor, you won't, you know what I mean, all that kind of shit. Because this is a problem that is very much an epidemic around this world of doctors who don't give a shit. They just dispense drugs and then be on your way. Or tell you shit you already know that you should do that you're already doing. So anyway, that's all I have to say about that for today as far as ranting about the medical industry, and specifically about doctors that they're just like machines, pretty much. They're programmed and taught within the medical industry, the medical learning, education, to get their degree and everything. They had to go through these years of being desensitized when they actually have to approach a patient. They have to be desensitized. They can't have a lot of feeling. They have to just go in there and see you as just a number. That's all, pretty much. So anyway, thanks for joining me today, guys. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for the likes and shares, and thank you for your kind comments. Leave your comments down below and let me know how you're doing as far as your health, and if you feel like the medical industry is helping you any way. I'd be curious to hear what you have to say. Alrighty, guys. Thanks for joining me. Brightest blessings to you all, and I will see you soon.